My. I have a brand new celebrity on the block on this very special episode of On VJ's playlist. But the absolutely mellifluous and extremely beautiful Utsavi Jha, who I must say, I was just complimenting her that she has these absolutely beautiful, big, round Indian eyes. Hi, Utsavi. How are you?
Hi, Vijay. I'm so happy to be here to be talking to you, and thank you for such a sweet introduction. Thank you.
But I mean, I am complimenting now possibly the newest actor. I mean, there is also, I mean, now that you have made your big debut on digital and that too opposite home. I mean, you're sharing like these outstanding scenes with an iconic actress, an actress that, you know, from our grandparents generation, like they have been like all fans of her work, and you get to have these outstanding moments of a lot of affection, intrigue, and you are literally, I mean, you just posted vacation picture. No, I don't think so. They were vacation pictures, but you've just been to Patodi, to the ancestral house, and you've shared screen space with Sharmila ji. Firstly, I'm sure it must have taken a while for you to just wrap this whole Gulmohar experience around you. But how has it been so far, Utsavi? Because it's not even been a month since Gulmohar hit the digital streaming platform that it is right now available on. But I'm sure it's been overwhelming because even when I see through Instagram alone only, the outpour of love hasn't stopped.
Yeah. Everything you said is the exact mind space that I have right now. I haven't been able to process or wrap my head around. Forget the movie, just the process of shooting. It's been a year since at this time last year, we were shooting, but it's been a year and I still have certain unprocessed feelings and experiences from the shoot itself. So for me to process what the movie's reception has been like, or to spend time with Sharmila ji at her Patodi Palace, or just have all these new people in my life that I have so much affection for, none of it is, I haven't been able to process any of it. All I know is that I'm overwhelmed in all the right ways, and I'm just grateful, and I am just so lucky that I got to experience all of it. And like you said, how with Sharmila ji, with Manoj sir, and everybody, honestly, I mean, these two people are the legendary actors that we know of, but honestly, everyone I came across on the set. So I couldn't, I mean, it's been a dream. It's literally, I think, as cliche as this may sound, it's really been not even a dream. I hadn't even thought of anything like this in my dream. So to share space with her, all my scenes were mostly with her, and like so close, sitting like and just looking into her eyes and sharing really intimate moments. So I'm just happy. She was a wonderful person, so I was able to do them, but it was very intimidating, of course, like the thought of it before I started. But I'm so grateful for all the love the movie is receiving as a movie itself, just the movie, not just talking about me. So all the journey, it was anyway worth it, but now it seems all the more like a reason to celebrate because it's being received so well.
Utsavi, I mean, just very recently, Zeenat Aman ma'am has joined, she joined Instagram, and, it's kind of, become the cool thing all over again to, post these really candid, amazing pictures and write very, very descriptive captions, in a day and age where Instagram is not anymore it's not anymore the photo sharing app that it used to be. And, ma'am has come over and she's made it cool all over again. But when you are, as Utsavi, when you are working in the presence of such seasoned actors like Sharmila ji, Manoj sir, and of course Simran ma'am, who's been ruling, the South Indian film industry for over 25 years in her own right. You have immediate access to so many anecdotes and so much so many pearls of wisdom of all the experience that they have gathered. जैसे कहते हैं हिंदी में धूप छांव सब देख चुके हैं वो. So
Yeah.
what have been some of your best learnings as an artist, from such seasoned personalities that you feel that, okay, these are things that I would like to use and incorporate in my approach towards whatever I do, be it singing, or now, if at all you plan to pursue acting also. What is it about their experiences that have been huge learnings for you as a person?
Oh, so many. I just started revisiting all of it. Sharmila ma'am, our first one-on-one scene together, when we were shooting, I went to her and I told her, ma'am, I'm really nervous, and to be, even how to act in front of you also, and I'm a first time actor. So I was obviously just, being candid, and what she said to me taught me so much about humility and generosity. She said, Utsabi, we're here for the director's vision, we're all on the same level. And for someone like her who's had a career of 60 years, to say that to someone like me was, for me, it was a lesson. That just one thing she said was a lesson in humility. I realized only good people get the amount of success that they get. You have to be a good person. And she made it really comfortable for me to, act in front of her. She said, treat me as your dadi, you're doing well. Just, do what the director wants and you're going to be fine. Just from my side, you have all the liberty to, if you want to treat me like your dadi, if you want to hug me like your dadi, do all of that. So that was such a lesson for me, Vijay. From Manoj sir, even at Patodi, I asked her, seeing yourself, your face, or yourself transform on screen for a career of 60 years, how does it feel? She told me, it's, you took certain decisions, or what you were feeling in the moment, you have to forgive yourself for feeling whatever you were feeling, or however you were doing, whatever you did that at that time, you cannot regret anything now, because what the understanding or the wisdom you had at that time is very different from now. So you don't judge yourself for anything you've done in the past. So always remember that, always be strong, confident. And she really does, have this aura of dadi that I get from her. So it was really nice to share that rapport with her. With Manoj sir, I think I'm just gonna tell you, then you can choose to. Manoj sir, he recently told me that, I'm a singer and I really enjoyed acting. I don't know what that career path is going to be like for me, but he said, you're young, you can have two careers, just, don't sit idle, do whatever you can to make these things work for you. Everything is in your hand, just work double time, do whatever you want. And I remember he told us about, he shared how his craft is a safe space and it never fails him. Even if he has a bad day, and he's done one scene for like 50 takes, he will never feel like he's a bad actor, or because it's the only thing he knows. So he was, to hear him talk about his craft with so much love and, passion, was very infectious for me, because a lot of times I'm trying to write a song and not able to get that right. It makes you question your abilities, or even just whether I can even do this badly or remotely nicely. He said, I don't question my craft. I don't question acting. I just know it's a bad day, but I know it's my safe space. It's the only thing I know how to do, and I'm going to get it right. This is just a bad day and a bad moment. And for him, for someone like him who's honed his craft over the years very meticulously, for to hear him say all these things is very reassuring. That काम करते रहो, you keep working hard, you keep honing your skills, your craft will not fail you. And that was very nice. Simran ma'am told us to observe when you're in company of, legends like this, because you can only observe and listen, like listen to people. You can learn so much by just listening or being in their presence. My director Rahul told me to, just surrender to his vision, be confident about myself, because it was my first time acting. So everybody, honestly, I'm remembering these anecdotes from the people you mentioned, but honestly, I have learned a lot from everybody, even the makeup, hair, wardrobe departments, people working in those departments, just how much they cared about their job. It taught me so much about integrity, about being true to your work. our DOP is a silent man, but his work you can see in the movie. Everybody, I learned so much about just hard work, compassion, kindness, generosity from everybody. That's why this experience has been so cathartic for me, because it wasn't just, it didn't just fulfill me as an artist, it fulfilled me as a person.
I'm glad you speak these things, Utsavi, because just before we sat down to have this chat, I think the one thing that clearly from all these days and months of interactions that you and I have had over the years, I think one thing that I've realized that we both share in common is our constant uh, pursuit of just wanting to do good work and doing it with utmost sincerity and honesty, the only way that we know, because we are not, I would say, cursed with that kind of mindset where we are looking for shortcuts, or we are looking for just like half the work done, or we are not looking at I mean, laziness is not something that we comply to. We like earning our place underneath the sun by doing the hard work and doing what it takes, and doing it with the in the best possibility, in the best possible way that it can be done. So I really feel happy that you were able to find that kind of experience and that kind of mentorship under such seasoned artists who have seen so many years of transition and evolution themselves, and yet there's a common ground for all of you to connect on, irrespective of how long you have been in the industry or not. But Gulmohar aside, Utsavi, I think we are here
One
to
thing I want to say about one thing I want to add, um, the common ground that you mentioned, it's all thanks to my director, because the movie is a family drama and he made sure that all of us were a family. And I think that is happening even now, 1 year after we finished shooting, the movies come out. So I learned a lot from him also about maintaining relationships. And as a professional, he's brilliant. He's done so much in the movie itself, but as a person, there was so much to learn from him as well. And from you also. I think when I first met you at Antisocial, I remember at one of the gigs, and I told you that what you're doing so consistently, your podcast and your videos, all of that, I really respect that, because you're right. That's all we know, people like us, just to keep working, keep being consistent and trying to work hard, because there's literally no other way or a shorter way we know. So I really, really admire that in you also.
Thank you so much. That's very, very sweet of you. But it's not about me right now. But I think we are here to gather. We have gathered here to sit and discuss about your music. Let's talk about Rijhaaun, the song that's currently being enjoyed by everybody across digital streaming platforms. And Rijhaaun is happening just when everyone has warmed up and is massively using Saanjh in their reels. I think it kind of blew up when Kusha really shared a reel. I think it was a Get Ready With Me reel that she did with Saanjh in it. And how do you look at all these amazing things just suddenly, like is it the beauty of social media? It's just the beauty of one thing leading to another. But how do you look at all these amazing possibilities unfolding before you?
I'm very happy and grateful, of course, when Kusha, I think, shared Chanchal Man, and then she made a reel with that song, and then I sent her Saanjh, because Saanjh has been so well received, and she ended up liking that song a lot also. So in that period, I wasn't going through the best time, because I wasn't in the best headspace. So for that to happen was good, because I've been waiting for this kind of reach for a very long time. And somebody who has better reach, if they share your music, it always helps. So I was always waiting for somebody like them to discover my music, if they like it, to share it. So I was definitely very happy. But there's always a part of my personality that is unable to really um really fully blown out celebrate everything that's happening with me. I acknowledge it, I'm happy, but I'm never able to fully experience that joy. So now every time, now I'm very consciously making it a point to, now that Rijhaaun, somebody I'm very happy that it reached so many musicians. Shah Malik, Kolgade, Arman Malik, and a lot of other musicians shared it. And that was really cool for me because I was happy for my music to be reaching all these people. So I'm now making sure that I, allow myself to be happy about it. And she is so kind, Kusha, every time she uses a song in her reels. And she also shared Gulmohar, and she's always responsive on DM. So it's nice that my music is reaching such nice, kind people also, because you also want to build a community at the end of the day. So I'm really happy that whatever reach I have been getting, I really wanted my songs to reach more people, and I'm happy that jo bhi reach mil raha, it's happening now finally. So I'm very, very happy.
And in a way, I think, when music creates that kind of connect between you and somebody who is extremely influential on social media like Kusha, I think it gives you that kind of a chance to actually get to know a person like her a little beyond what she puts of herself on social media, because what we see on social media is largely something that is thought of, that's very it's very topical in a way. Like if something is trending, then she ends up putting up a reel or a spoof based on that. But we never really get to know who they are beyond their social media handles. So I think when music creates that kind of a connect where two people can actually sit and have a conversation and maybe talk about something beyond beyond their identities, I think that's the beauty. And I'm sure you might have, I think Saanjh and Chanchalman must have done that for you, at least as far as Kusha is concerned, and as far as a lot of artists who have shared your music are concerned. Do you agree?
Absolutely. My first question to her was, how did you find my song? Because they're not. How did how did you discover Chanchalman? And she said, I've been looking to. So many people share popular songs by male artists, but not as many by female artists. And I, as a female creator, really wanted like consume a lot of music. And I was like, I don't know a lot of independent music from women, which is being promoted. And I'm sure there is good, just as as many nice songs by women, which need to be discovered. So I went to the indie women playlist on Spotify, and I started listening. And then she shared my song. I think she also shared one of Anumita's songs in December when she shared. So that when I heard that, when I was having that conversation, I was like, when you exactly what you said, I never estimate anybody's personality on the basis of social media, but what she puts up herself is, this really lively, bubbly, fun person, which she also is. But this was so thoughtful, and she makes it a point to, plug in songs wherever she can. So that was, it just makes me wonder how many more such people I don't know of who are just, who have such good intentions, maybe. So definitely, I'm glad that the music is reaching such people, and I hope it reaches more people like that.
Coming to your music, Utsavi, let's talk about Rijhaaun. Let's talk about what led you to write the song. How was this conceived? And eventually, when you wanted to release it, what was it you were looking at, conveying to your listeners and to everyone at large with Rijhaaun?
Rijhaaun, I wrote it, I think, in 2021 at some point. And that particular day, I was feeling very overwhelmed with all the, I think it was based on a conversation I had with a friend or a family member, I don't remember, and they did something for me that made me feel very nice. I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy that I have, or I'm so lucky that I have all these people in my life. And at that point, I was sitting every day to compose, and I was going through this. So I decided to write something for people in my life who make me feel so loved, who go out of their way to make sure I am happy or I am feeling loved. So I was very overwhelmed. I just needed to do something about that feeling, and that songwriting is the best way I know how to. So I started writing. So I don't know what led to the thought exactly of magic, but I wanted the thought in my mind was, okay, I want to tell them that I want to return your feelings. I want to make you just as happy. What do I do? What do I do that will make you happy just the way that you make me happy? And I like to make my songs around specific words, and Rijhaaun has been on my mind since a while, just like Saanjh was. I wrote the whole song
Yeah.
around the word Saanjh. So Rijhaaun also I wanted to write like, because it's such a sweet word. So I somehow hooked onto the concept of magic, that okay, kaan ke piche, because if children, they are either pleased by somebody or they're not. It's so, there's no ulterior thoughts or motives, and with real relationships it's just as pure. You'll
Yeah.
either like somebody or you don't. So what makes a child happy? It's just that pleasure of, oh, a magic trip, oh my god, that surprise is just so authentic. So I want to make you just as happy. So that was the thought behind Rijhaaun. And at that time I was listening to a lot of jazz music, and I thought saxophone was such a cool instrument, and I really wanted to use it for Rijhaaun. For some reason I just knew I wanted a jazz treatment for the song, and I wanted saxophone. That's what happens with most of my songs. I just get these sound that I want this sound in my song. And I approached Manav, who is brilliant at what he does. He is also jazz trained. So I went to him and I told him I want you to work on this song, and it's a jazz song, so I think you'll enjoy it as well. And you heard the song. At least for me, he's done such a brilliant job. It's so nicely done. So we reached a middle ground where it was not too like overly jazzy, but it was also stylish. We included the saxophone. So that was the production process. And then when I was releasing, I really wanted it to be a song to just tell people, or if you want to tell somebody that, they mean so much to you and everything you do is to make them happy, this is a song for them. And that's what I wanted to, even for my listeners. I think since Sanj, I'm experiencing so much love that it overwhelms you. So I was like, this song is for all my listeners, because you write to me with so much love, not knowing who I am, just on the basis of a song, but that carries me, that literally carries me for days. So this song is for you, because everything I do, my music, is to make genuine listeners happy.
Utsavi, I think your music career started only during the pandemic, and that was I think in 2020 was when it started with uh, I can't exactly recollect your first song right now, but
Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, yes. But I think that came out in 2020 itself, only, right?
Right, November 2020. Yes.
Yes, since 20. And I'm sure, I mean, it would have been a bit of a blur at that time, when you were considering releasing your music in right when the pandemic was going on. Like, it was like, just you could say, the first year of it, and barely some months down, um, a sense of normalcy hadn't really been restored. There was no normalcy really. It's just that we had restrictions eased. Uh, there were certain regulations that were being lifted then. What was your mind space then? Because it was a it was a tough phase for sure for artists in general at large. So when you were about to make your debut at such a time, what was it that, what did you tell yourself? Or, how did you keep through that period?
I think that period, Ehsan sir, I will have to give him full credit. He was doing all these live sessions for I think 4 to 5 months. And it was also the same time when I was writing songs, but I'd been procrastinating getting my music produced for a while, because of, I think there's so much fear of embarrassment and fear of rejection that accompanies putting out your own music, that I think that was the reason why I wasn't, because I didn't want to be judged, or I didn't want people to make a statement of about me or my music, which can happen when you release music. But I mean, touch wood, things it was a bad period, but as an artist or from a songwriting point of view, it was a very good time for me, because I got to write a lot of songs. So honestly, going on his lives, hearing him telling, encouraging people, and seeing so many musicians actually doing this, putting out songs, really made me feel like, okay, they can do it, why can't I do it? So it was a healthy I wouldn't say competitive, but a healthy like push. Okay, like
Yeah.
all these people can do it, then why are you not able to do it? Like there's nothing wrong, they're all doing it. So that really pushed me, and I was like, now this is personal, I have to do this. Why can't I do it? I have so many songs. And I got in touch with the producer that Esansa connected me to, and it was a very great process. Karan Parekh produced it, and he was a great person to do a first song with. And of course, all these thoughts of, oh, kaisa hai mera song, how will it do, will it get the same kind of popularity that all these other songs are getting? It didn't get as much popularity, but it got me over the fear of embarrassment, rejection. I got okay with people not liking me or my music. I didn't magically become okay with that. It took time, it still takes time, but that first step was, I had taken the first step. So it was actually, I'm very glad that I the lives happened. Esansa's mentorship, guidance, push happened. He had heard the song before it came out. He gave me some inputs. All that happened. The community is so nice. People heard it, engaged with me. So all that really helped. It wasn't just me taking this initiative and doing it. It was really a lot of factors that helped me be at it and get over my fear of being judged or my music being judged. So that was for me, the world, it was a bleak time in general, but musically it was a very good time for me to, yeah, I'm sorry.
I can understand, Utsavi, what you mean, because and I think we must give a shout out to Esansa, because besides you, the other artists that I can confidently speak of and say that, yeah, she was also one person who was largely influenced by Esansa's contribution to the independent music scene during the pandemic. That's Griselda Souza. I think all you amazing artists, who have emerged, from the pandemic, who have become, sort of breakout sensations because of the pandemic. I clearly place you and Frizzell at the top of my mind when it comes to that. And I think everyone in the scene, everyone in music general who have always appreciated good music must be so thankful to Esansa. But Utsavi, I think 2022 in so many ways was very, very beautiful, because while you were shooting for a great film with some seasoned actors, you also had the chance, I think it was your first ever debut at the NH7 Weekender, and clearly one can gauge the sentiments, or one can gauge your feelings just through the amount of gratitude or the amount of excitement that you have felt while putting out your posts, and putting out your pre-gig and post-gig updates on social media. But how was that experience just in general, performing your music to a live audience for the first time, and that on a scale as grand as the NH7 Weekender?
Yeah. My parents told me right after the gig that you transform on stage. We don't know who that person is. And for my parents to say that, I think that's enough, right? Because I felt that too. Literally 10 seconds before I went on stage, Raghav Miatal was backstage with me, because he was kind enough to guest on a song with me. And he said, okay, Utsavi, do this, calm down. I was like, yes, I need to. And I went on stage, and just seeing all these people looking at you with just wanting good music, it was so heartening. I think I was more excited. I started blabbering, but that's okay, because it was all coming from a place of happiness and excitement. It wasn't coming from a place of, oh my God, I'm so nervous. And for me to experience that it was just good validation that I'm doing this because I love it. No other reason. And it was a very good reminder for myself that I do it because I love it for no other reason. And people were so kind. They were engaging. Most of them stayed till the end. So really, I put together a band specially for NH7, and all the musicians I worked with, they were so cooperative. We did a lot of jams because we had to put together a band. They were all so cooperative. So it really felt like a great closure of the 2 months the leading up to NH7. When I got approached to be a part of it, it was unbelievable for me, because I was there in 2017 to watch Cigarettes After Sex, and I saw a band and I was like, this is so far out of reach for me, like to have a band up there and have people watch me. And then to actually do 2020, I saw Hanita Bhambre on the virtual edition of NH7. I was like,
Yeah.
I really wish I can do this next year. 1 year later, I was there. So I think it was a very, very, I really felt so grateful to universe or to just everything, everybody who's helped me along the way to and contributed to the gig. It was a brilliant feeling, and I performed at Antisocial very recently because that it's such an addictive feeling to be on stage with a band and have your original songs be played out so brilliantly by brilliant musicians. I finished the 45 minutes set and I was like, it's over already. I cannot wait to do this again. We need to do this again. And yeah, it's such a, I love being on stage. I think that's the one place that gives me a lot of happiness, a lot of happiness.
Utsavi, as a young singer-songwriter, right now it's like, at least with life post the pandemic, if there's something that we have seen as the emergence of so many young singer-songwriters, and so many, now these two words put together, it's like we can clearly create a clique or a community of our own. But as someone who has over all the episodes that I have been doing for On VG's playlist, was always actively endorsed, propagated the feeling of community. If I have to ask you some of your favorite singer-songwriters from the scene, and because we spoke about women, and because people out there like Usha and many out there who want to know about the amazing women women in music, if I have to ask you to pick out some of your favorite women from the Indian independent music space that you love listening to and you recommend that others should also listen to, who immediately come into your mind?
I will definitely give names, but I want to say that I know so many, I may miss out on some, so please don't mind, because top of my head only, but I really, really admire everybody, so many good women but top of my head, I think I start with Mally. I've been a fan. I love her. Frizzell, so much authenticity. I love her music. In the Hindi space, I really like Akanksha Bhandari singing. It's so beautiful. Oh my God, there's a lot. So it is.
Yeah, I think people will start hating me if I have to make Utsavi take any more names. So yeah, but really, the guys,
No, but really,
if you miss out on anyone, please don't take any of it. It's when questions like these are thrown, it becomes really hard to pick out names. But I know. Yeah, yes, continue.
I don't know if I should. I think
No
these are
pressure.
my
No pressure. I think
yeah.
let's consider the top three right now. We are okay with Mally, with Frizzell, and with Akanksha Bhandari. So yes, guys, if you still haven't checked their workout, please go to your preferred music streaming platforms, check their workout, and check Utsavi's workout. There are some amazing women in the Indian independent music space right now, and so many of them that I'm just fortunate that I've had the opportunity to interact with all of them, and I can vouch for just how amazing they are on stage, off the stage, and just the way they are as artists and as people. But Utsavi, if I have to ask you now, once the dust sort of settles in on Gulmohar, and Rijhaaun also will continue on its onward journey, what are the big plans for yourself, as an artist who's now kind of, currently getting into the scheme of things? You've just done a brand new collaboration with Ravatar also for a leading music label. And do you want to tell us a little about that? Because it's like, this is just brand new.
Yes, I would love to. Thanks for asking, because sometimes, even that I haven't been able to wrap my head around because so many things have been happening. But I wrote lyrics for that song, which was supposed to be sung by somebody else, the original artist. And then Harsh Rabator called me one day and he's like, Gajendra is going to sing, and I've loved Man Mera. So I was like so excited. And then he told me he's signed to T-Series, so they're releasing this song. So it really became, a journey of sorts for the song. So I am very happy to be associated with him. Adhure Hum is the name of the song, produced by Ravitor, sung by Gajendra Verma, composed by Adarsh Rao. And it's a heartbreak anthem, and it sounds lovely in Gajendra's voice. The production is fantastic. Ravitor is just one of the most collaborative and supportive, like I shouldn't do, everybody should do kind of a person. So that was also I love collaborating with him, and I hope to do that. So it's been really great when you're associated to song and people. I think that makes me happier when I'm involved with people who are good people in general. So that makes me very happy. So Adhure Hum is a great song, for like a great pop heartbreak song, but even better people attached to the song.
I think it's also your second collaboration now, Utsavi, with Ravator, because I believe you also wrote the lyrics for Ehsas, with which he did with Shilpa Rao, and that's another experience in itself, because you get to meet and also work with somebody of the stature of Shilpa Rao's, who, I mean, we just cannot stop obsessing over her silken voice. So how was that experience also?
Absolutely, it was. I composed and wrote this song. So when he had approached me to do that, I really thought he was, just making it up. But I put in my 100%. I was like, I mean, how will this song be sung by like Shilpa Rao? Because I love her voice and I love her singing. My 10th standard farewell, I sang Khuda Jaane on stage, and with such a bad performance, but I did that. So everything in my musical career or journey so far has had like these things that have happened before. So it's just as cheesy as it sounds, it's all really like I'm just like, oh my God, this is happening. So I didn't really believe that this was going to happen. She was actually going to record. And then 2 days, but he's like, okay, let's do a Zoom call with her. The recording's happening in 2 days. And you also come for the recording. I've made arrangements. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be in the recording studio with Shilpa Rao and meet her. And she's actually going to sing a song I wrote and composed. That's crazy. I love Gustak Dil, Man Marziya, Khuda Jaane. So when I met her, I think we finished the recording in under an hour, because she just एक एक करके फटाफट recording करते गए वो, and she gave her like her own touch to the song. Certain melodies were different, which was amazing. The alaps and all that she did on the spot. And then I made her listen to one of my songs. She was just talking about artists she likes. So nice. A nice person, very professional, humble. So like I said, I really enjoy when people are also nice. It's always good to separate the art and the artist, but when they're, when they're both great, it's just a different highlight. So it was great to be in the studio with her. She's like, हाँ यही lyric है ना? Then I'm like, हाँ यही है. And inside I'm just like, oh my God. So it was a very fun experience. Yeah, I'm very grateful to Harsh for, I think he heard Picnic, which was, and Manmani, and then he told me to write this. I'm very grateful for him to believe that I could do it, and actually then made it happen.
You spoke of all these amazing songs that Shilpa ma'am has sung, and I am instantly reminded about, for me, like I was speaking about it to another artist in a very recent interview. I said that there's a crowd favorite, and then there is my favorite, which is always outstanding, or it's extremely contrary to what the crowd favorite is. So when it comes to Shilpa ma'am, I'm always reminded by how much I enjoy listening to her version, especially those few lines that come in the song Bulya from Ae Dil Hai Mushkil. Just the way she sings it, and it's so beautiful the way she compliments Aishwarya Rai Bachchan's personality, and kind of brings out what that character that Aishwarya is playing, what she's going through, those emotions of falling in love with somebody younger to her. And I just love that song a lot. I just love her portion in that song a lot.
Right. I will listen to it. I don't remember, but I'll listen to it for sure. But you're right, she has such a different voice, no, that it matches nobody, and that's why it matches everybody. Because her voice is so unique that it fits everybody and fits nobody. yeah,
I
it's
think
brilliant,
I
beautiful.
think we all maybe sometimes someday hopefully when we are able to host a lot more people in on VJ's playlist, we can like have a separate just fan girling session just for Shilpa Rao, because yeah, I'm sure we all love her so much. But also speaking
Definitely.
about collaborations, Utsavi, I think on the soundtrack of Gulmohar, you had the opportunity to work with Kanishk State, and foster a great friendship also. In the process of working with him, I think when he got
Yeah,
married, you were one of the few people from the music scene that was
yeah.
invited and who attended. And firstly, I have to say you looked really pretty, that in that sari of yours.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
but just you're speaking of Shilpa Rao on one hand, but then you also get the opportunity to work with somebody as legendary as Kavita said. Also, like at least at least that energy somewhere kind of translates with all of you being a part of one album, a part of a soundtrack. So
Yeah.
how was that experience?
Brilliant, just to see, even in the title credits rolling, just to see, and Tallat Aziz ji, Kavita ji, and then Utsavi ji, that Gulmohar has given me so many things that I cannot wrap my head around. That's one of the things, to be in an album with like Kavita ji. So I have been listening right from Iktara and then
Ektara.
everything else she's done. So it's brilliant. And then I went to her house because there were certain things that I had to record in Kanish's home studio. And I met her, and she's the most chill, cool person. Like, you meet her and she's
She's
just
absolutely savage. From what I had told, I had told Kanishk
very
was like she's
badass. Yeah.
very that I don't think if that's the most respectable word we can use for her, but she's savage completely. She's very
Yeah.
unfiltered with her opinions, but she puts it off so like gracefully or itini, like bolte na, like the feeling I get is like with a butter knife, like she can slice you. That's how sweet she
Ah,
is.
that is true. And she says that you don't feel bad because it's very adorable. It always comes
Yeah.
across as adorable. So she was very nice. Every time I went to her house, I even ate a few times. So after the movie also, she was like so excited to see me. And she was kind enough to say, oh, it was a great song. You sounded and looked great, even though she is a legend. So I think that's, again, you learn so much about humility from these people. Talent to hai hi, obviously. And Kanishk also, I think you're right. Such a chill person, such a friendly, sweet person he is, that
Yeah.
it made it very easy. And I have been a fan since Rangi Sari. Obviously, my sister introduced me to Rangi Sari in 2020 or 2020, 2021.
2020, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
2021, I
think you and
approached.
I, we are the chosen few who actually started listening and kind of uh really vibing along with Rangi Sari even before it became popular last year, or
Yeah.
before it blew up on Instagram,
Yeah,
for sure.
luckily, for sure. Yeah, yeah. He was still in Spain when I'd reached out to him for one of my songs. So तभी तो कुछ नहीं हुआ था. Then when I was auditioning for Gulmohar, he said, Utsavi, are you by chance auditioning for this movie? And I said, yes. He said, I'm the music supervisor on it. And I said, I'm going for the audition tomorrow. I'm really nervous. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm very sure they're not going to pick me. I told him that also. And he's like, don't worry, you're going to be fine. So I am thinking of these conversations audition ke pehle, and then I got selected, and then we're talking about the soundtrack and what I'm gonna sing, and he's gonna be acting thoda sa in the movie. And music supervisor say he also did a lot of production and recordings on the record. Rahul Chittella, the director, and he and Kanishk went to Chennai also to record the string section. So they are just such hardworking people. They were so meticulous. So I'd go for the recording. We'd finish the recording in half an hour, Kanishk and I, and then literally 1 hour we just talk about everything else. And every time I'd have something to do later, and I end up pushing it because I'm just having so much fun chatting with him, because he's such a chill person. So we're talking about Gulmohar, and there's 100 things, right, to talk before and after the movie, about the movie, and about projects he's doing, projects I'm doing, and then just his wedding was also going to happen soon.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun, and I was very touched that he invited me for the wedding, and I obviously made it for it because I was very glad to be a part of it. His wife is lovely too, so definitely every time I reach out to him with a question about the industry, he has a lot more experience with labels, etc. also. So he's
Yeah.
very helpful every time, and he tells me if you need anything, you let me know. So definitely Gulmohar has led to so many friendships. We're all friends now, and Kanishk including. So forever grateful for this experience. All the friendships I've made are, I think, is the best part of the movie. And
I
he's so
just
talented,
saw
of course.
I just saw that cameo of his over there. He's like Utsavi and not Utsavi, sorry, he calls you by your character name. Amrita, what? Let's do this song. And I'm like, hey, wait. I'm already having a moment where I'm trying to recover that, okay, I am seeing Utsavi. Someone who I have met, off the screen. I met at gigs. We've been part of, birthday parties, and we've been part of gatherings together, like,
Yeah.
with mutual,
Yeah.
mutual friends from the community. And here I'm seeing Kanish, who also I have spoken on so many occasions. Like I've had 2 interviews with him in the past, 2 or 3. But and then I'm like, oh, yay! I can actually proudly say that I know these two. Yay!
Oh
But
man,
so my mother was watching Gulmohar, and then she's watching all this. I'm like, I'm actually literally, I had to make a pause at that scene. I said, you see these 2 faces? I know them. But here's looking at the magic of possibilities, more and more of it, unfold before you. Utsavi, thank you so much for talking to me on VJ's playlist. And as someone who can say that, yes, I am a little in the know of how your journey has been, it's been extremely, extremely happy, a happy feeling. And it's been extremely wonderful to see how all of you have progressed in your respective careers, and I only wish the very best and nothing less than that. But thank you so much for talking to me.
thank you, Vijay. I want to say, I don't know if this will be on it or not, but off the record, on the record, I don't know what the journey is going to be like ahead, but to know people who take part in your excitement and your happiness and genuinely wish the best for you has been something that really keeps me going, because it can get lonely to pursue any profession, especially something like music. So thank you so much for being, ever since we've known each other in whatever capacity, for being this positive force and for having me on your show. It was lovely talking to you all. I can say this on behalf of everybody also in the community, how what a warm and positive presence you are. So thank you for that. And I'm very glad that you think so about my journey. I really hope all of us can just keep progressing in whatever capacity. Shout out to all musicians, to my family, friends, for really, it's like I said, it's a lonely profession. So for them to be with me, just a big shout out to them. And shout out to Padmanabhan and Sir from Spotify for being a big help and support in the last 1.5 years. And everybody, I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody, but love to everybody. Oh my god, that was so stupid.
No, I'm sure it's all there. It's all good in the hood for sure. But like I always say, I think the only way we can all progress forward individually is sticking together through. And I'm sure it's a long journey ahead, and we are in this together for sure. But thank you so much, everybody, once again for watching another episode of On VJ's Playlist, and lots more exciting interviews coming up this April, and so on and so forth. But thank you for watching, and please keep listening to Utsavi's music. Thank you so much.
Thank you, love you, VJ. Bye.